Good day, everyone. My name is Mary Francine F. Ibida, a second-year student taking up Bachelor of Secondary Education major in English. So for today's lesson, I will be going to discuss the basis and policies of special and inclusive education. But before we proceed with our discussion, I have here the lesson objectives. So at the end of the lesson, students will be able to know the psychological basis of special and inclusive education, recognize the importance of peer learning and collaboration, and understand how real-life experiences enhance learning according to situated learning theory. So starting off with the first psychological basis, which is Piaget's cognitive development. But first, let us know who is John Piaget. So John William Fritz Piaget was a Swiss psychologist and genetic epistemologist. He is most famously known for his theory of cognitive development that looked at how children develop intellectually throughout the course of childhood. So his theory focuses not only on understanding how children acquire knowledge, but also on understanding the nature of intelligence. So these are the 4 stages of development. The first one is sensory motor stage that develop from birth to 2 years. The second is pre-operational stage that develop from ages 2 to 7. And the third stage is the concrete operational stage that develop from ages 7 to 11. And the final stage, which is formal operational stage, that develop from ages 12 and up. To better understand some of the things that happen during cognitive development, the following are some of the factors that influence how children learn and grow. So the first is schema. These are the categories of knowledge that help us to interpret and understand the world. Sometimes we also define this as building blocks of knowledge. The next is assimilation. This is the process by which we incorporate new information into existing schemas. The next is accommodation. This is when new information or experiences causes you to modify your existing schemas. And the last one is equilibrium. This is the process of balancing assimilation and accommodation to create schemas that fit the environment. Next is Bandura's social learning theory. So Albert Bandura is an influential social cognitive psychologist who is perhaps best known for his social learning theory, the concept of self-efficacy, and his famous Bobo doll experiments. So this theory considers how both environmental and cognitive factors interact to influence human learning and behavior. In social learning theory, Albert Bandura agrees with the behaviorist learning theories of classical conditioning and operant conditioning. However, he adds 2 important ideas. Mediating processes occur between stimuli and responses, and behavior is learned from the environment through the process of observational learning. In mediational processes, social learning theory is often described as the bridge between traditional learning theory and the cognitive approach. This is because it focuses on how mental factors are involved in learning. The following are the mediational processes proposed by Bandura, and these are attention, retention, motor reproduction, and motivation. In observational learning, children observe the people around them behaving in various ways. One of Bandura's famous experiments is called Bobo doll, which illustrates what children sees, what children do. This experiment is made to study how children learn aggression through observation. Next is Lev Vygotsky's scaffolding. Lev Vygotsky was a seminal Russian psychologist who is best known for his social-cultural theory. He believed that social interaction plays a critical role in children's learning. Lev Vygotsky's scaffolding states that students learn more when working with people who have broader scope of knowledge than the student learning the content. To help learners achieve independence, Vygotsky outlines scaffolding as a tool for growth. Learners complete small manageable steps in order to reach the goal. Working in collaboration with a skilled instructor or more knowledgeable peers helps students make connections between concepts. Next is Jean Lave's situated learning. Jean Lave is a professor Emerita in the Department of Geography. She is social anthropologist with a strong interest in social theory. Jean Lave's situated learning promotes the idea that students learn better in a collaborative group setting when the activities are based on real-life experiences. Traditional versus situated. In traditional learning, this is where students acquire knowledge through lectures, textbooks, and memorization. While in situated learning, this is where learners gain knowledge through real-world setting. These are the key features of situated learning. First is it is based on socio-cultural theory. This means that knowledge is not just acquired individually, but is shaped by the community and shared experiences. For example, a medical student learns not just from books but from discussions with doctors and fellow students in a hospital setting. And the second one is learning should take place in communities of practice. This means that learning is most effective when it occurs in real-world environments where people interact and share knowledge. For example, an aspiring chef learns more by working in a professional kitchen with experienced chef than just by reading cookbooks. Then the third one is learners start out as legitimate peripheral participants. These beginners are not expected to master everything immediately. Instead, they start by observing and doing simpler tasks while gradually gaining expertise. For example, a new employee in a company might first handle small tasks and observe senior colleagues before taking on more responsibilities. Then the fourth one is learners slowly become full members of the community of practice. So over time, as learners gain more knowledge and experience, they move from being newcomers to full participants in their field or profession. For example, a nursing intern starts by assisting nurses and doctors, but after years of training and practice, they become a fully qualified nurse or doctor. So that is all for my report. I hope you enjoyed my discussion and see you in our next discussion.